perform the resonance in series RLC circuit. Clear? In the chapter number 6, single phase AC circuit, we learn the resonance circuit. Clear? Resonance of series RLC circuit and parallel circuit. Clear? So let's just revise again the things which we have learned in the unit number 6. Clear? We learn this graph. Okay. At the different frequency, you get the different value of the current in the series RLC circuit. Clear? And we derive the equation of resonant frequency, that is Fr is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root of L and C. Clear? We derive this equation of resonant frequency. So for any particular value of L and C which are connected in series with your AC source, you can calculate the value of resonant frequency from this equation, if you know the value of L and C. Clear? And then after we have calculated the Q factor, magnitude and this bandwidth. Clear? Bandwidth is, you can see that in this graph, we first draw the graph between frequency versus current flowing into the series RLC circuit. So at different frequency you get the different current, but at the resonant frequency you get the maximum current. Why you get the maximum current at the resonant frequency? Because at the resonant frequency what will happen? XL is equal to become XC. Inductive reactance becomes equal to capacitive reactance. So and the equation of your impedance, as you know that when XL is equal to XC, so what will happen? Your X is become 0. So it means your impedance becomes only and only resistance. So that's why if you calculate the value of current at the resonant frequency where your impedance becomes only resistance, you get the maximum current. So you can see that at the resonant frequency, Imax is equal to what? V by Z, and Z becomes what? Is equal to resistance, because XL equal to XC. So X component becomes 0. So Imax is equal to what? V by R. So it means that at the resonant frequency, you get the maximum value of the current. And surrounding of this resonant frequency, you can see that this is a resonant frequency Fr. Surround the resonant frequency, the magnitude of current is less than this maximum current. So we want to prove this graph by using this practical. So let's see that here you have series RLC circuit. In series you connect this single phase AC voltage source. Clear? We know the equation of resonant frequency. F0 is equal to 1 upon 2 pi into 1 upon square root L into C. And theoretically we see this resonance curve, this one, and maximum value of current you get at the resonant frequency. Clear? So first you calculate the value of resonance frequency from the given value of L and C in the circuit. Clear? So here in this observation, we have observation table in which we write down the frequency and the magnitude of current flowing into this circuit. So we have a AC source of different frequency generator. It means we have generated the AC source at different frequency and then check that at which frequency you get the maximum current from this circuit. And that current, maximum current you get at the resonant frequency, it means that that frequency is called as the resonant frequency. Clear? So we practically as well as theoretically prove this. So first we calculate theoretically what is the resonant frequency. Clear? So let's for that watch this video in which we first calculate theoretically the resonant frequency, and then after we practically check that at that resonant frequency you get the maximum current or not. Clear? So let's watch this video.
In this lab session,
all of you can see this video. Bhai screen dekha hai? All of you?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
yes,
Please carefully watch this video and see this.
we perform the practical named series RLC resonance circuit. So as we see that in the series RLC resonance circuit, we have high frequency AC voltage source here, and in series we connect the three element R, L and C. You can see here in this hardware model, here we have input side, we give the AC voltage source of high frequency, which will generate from this function generator. It generates the AC voltage at different frequency. So this AC voltage given at the input side here from this box to here, and then in series you can see that resistance is connected, variable resistance. In series you can connect any one of the inductance, L1, L2 and L3. Here we connect the L2, the value of L2 is 47 millihenry, and in series we connect this capacitor. Here 3 capacitors is given, you connect any capacitor. Here we connect the C2 capacitor. The value of C2 capacitor is 0.01 microfarad. So as you can see in the circuit here, variable resistance R that is given here in the circuit, and L2 that is 47 millihenry we take, and C2 that is 0.01 microfarad. So all are connected in series, and our aim is what? First theoretically measure the resonant frequency. So it means that at which frequency your XL is equal to XC. So as you can see that here, the equation of resonant frequency F0 is equal to 1 upon 2 pi under root LC. So L we take here is 47 millihenry and C is 0.01 microfarad. So if you put this value here and calculate F0, so you get the resonant frequency 7.3 kilohertz. Clear? As we know that if we draw the graph of resonant frequency versus current, we can see that in this graph, at the resonant frequency you get the maximum current. Clear? Here in this case, resonant frequency is 7.3 kilohertz. It means at this 7.3 kilohertz, this frequency, you get the maximum current Im. And surrounding this resonant frequency, F1 and F2, you get the current less than this. Okay. So in this practical, at a different frequency, we measure the value of current flowing into this circuit. So for that, we require to connect the ammeter in series with this circuit. So you can see that here, first we connect the circuit. So let's make the connection. You can see that this probe, which is the output of this function generator, which generate the signal with the 3.3 kilohertz frequency. You can see here that generate the 3.3 kilohertz. That AC is given at the input side positive terminal and negative to this negative terminal by connecting this probe. Then this internal resistance is connected, so there is no requirement of connection. But here we require to connect the inductor and capacitor. So here we connect the capacitor C2. So we connected internally. Now here we require to measure the current flowing into this circuit. So in series we connect the ammeter. So here you can see that we connect the ammeter here, one terminal from here, and another terminal negative at the L2 terminal, so that measure the current flowing into this circuit. Clear? So here, so let's see that the value of current here we measure in series with this circuit. So that gives the current 1.79 milliampere. Here we set the current in a milliampere form. So here for the 3.3 kilohertz input voltage, we get the frequency, we get the current 1.79 milliampere. So let's write down this reading. 3.3 kilohertz frequency, the value of current flowing into the circuit is 1.79 milliampere. Now let's increase the value of this frequency from 3.3 to 4.3 kilohertz and see that the current will increase. So let's write down for 4.3, the value of current is 2.91 milliampere. Now set the frequency to 5.3 kilohertz, and at that time value of current is 5.11 milliampere. Now set the frequency 6.3. See the current 10.56 milliampere, and at 7.3 we get the maximum current, which is 13.23 milliampere. Now you can see that at the resonant frequency we calculated, for this value of L and C, you get the maximum current at the resonant frequency of 7.3 kilohertz. Here practically we get the current 13.23. You can see that compared to the above frequency, that value of current is high. Now see what is the value of current at the frequency higher than 7.3. So let's check the for 8.3 kilohertz frequency. So you can see that after the 7.3 to 8.3, now current will decrease. So now value of current is 7.57 milliampere. Now again increase the value of frequency 9.3 kilohertz. So again current will decrease to 4.95 milliampere. Now 10.3 kilohertz frequency. Now you can see that again this current will decrease to 3.65 milliampere. We'll take the last reading 11.3 kilohertz and current will 2.89 milliampere. So you can see that first start from the 3.3 kilohertz frequency, you get the currents 1.79 milliampere. As you increase the frequency by 1 kilohertz up to 7.3 kilohertz, at that point you get the maximum current 13.23 milliampere. After that, as you increase the frequency like 8.3, 9.3, the current will decrease. So if you draw the graph of frequency versus this current, you get like this way. Clear? And at the resonant frequency 7.3, you get the maximum current. Clear? So here we theoretically and practically prove that at the resonant frequency you get the maximum current.
All of you understand this practical? Very simple practical. Okay. Very, very simple practical. Is there any doubt to anyone in this? कोई doubt है आमा?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Very,
No, sir.
very,
No,
very
sir.
simple practical. So here I provide this word file to you. This one. So you just write down this observation table, which I already write down this in video also. Same value write down here frequency and current, and then after here write down the calculation, theoretical calculation of resonant frequency, which I calculated in this video. F0 is equal to 1/2 pi under root LC. In that I get the 7.3 kilohertz. Clear? So that calculation write down here, and then finally write down the conclusion here. Clear? So this practical is over here. It's very, very simple practical. Okay, all of you? Is there any doubt to anyone?
Sir, will you repeat after observation table?
See,
So there was
observation
network
table.
issue.
Okay, observation table. Write down the same value as I have written in this video. जे मैं video में जो value लाखी है, age value यहाँ लाखो. Clear? Then after in the calculation, this is a theoretical calculation of resonant frequency. So at the starting of the video, I calculate the resonant frequency F0 is equal to 1/2 pi under root LC. So that calculation write down here in the calculation. Clear? Which I get the 7.3 kilohertz. Clear? So that calculation write down here, and then
Yes,
after just write down the conclusion. Now clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here we complete this 9 practical. Only one practical is remained, that is regarding the transistor. Clear? So after the internal, I will provide the recorded video of this final practical. So then your all practical will complete, all the 10 practicals. Now we in the theory only we require the one topic, common collector connection. So that single topic will take 20 to 25 minutes now. So that topic I will complete now, so that you get the free time tomorrow and day after tomorrow for the preparation of your internal exam. Clear? So we have lecture in the day after tomorrow, Wednesday, I think. Okay. So that lecture I will not take, because today we'll complete the whole syllabus, theoretical part of all chapters. So I will complete the whole syllabus today. So this is my last lecture. But if you have any doubt in any chapter, then after we will meet at any time. Clear? So today I will complete the last chapter, last topic. So let's start it. So in the last lecture, today morning, we have completed this common emitter connection. Clear? We complete the theory. We derive the equation of beta relationship with the alpha. We derive the equation of collector current. And now let's calculate the example related to this common emitter. All of you please write down the example related to this common ammeter connection. A transistor is connected in common ammeter configuration in which collector supplies 8 volt and voltage drop across resistance RC that is connected in the collector circuit is 0.5 volt. The value of RC is 100 ohm, alpha is 0.96. Determine collector ammeter current. Determine collector ammeter current. And second, find out the base current. Second, find out the base current. So this is the example of common ammeter configuration. So first you find out the collector ammeter voltage. Clear? Collector ammeter voltage. So first of all you can see that what is the given data is given here. Here the collector side voltage VCC is given 8 volt. The voltage drop across this RC that is given 0.5. You find out what collector ammeter voltage means, this voltage across collector to ammeter terminal. So what you do first? How to calculate VCE? Yes, anyone? How to calculate the collector to ammeter voltage? Supply voltage is given. In this circuit, voltage drop is given 0.5 volt.
8 minus 0.5.
Yes, very good. Apply the KVL. So supply voltage 8 minus voltage drop 0.5. So you get the collector to ammeter voltage 7.5 volt. Clear, all of you? Is there any doubt? Supply voltage is equal to what? Voltage drop across load resistance plus voltage across collector to ammeter terminal. This one. So you get the answer 7.5 volt. Next thing, calculate the base current IB. This value. Calculate the IB. Here alpha is given. Alpha is given. You know the relationship between a beta and alpha. So what the relation? આપણે થિયરીમાં જોયું હમણાં. Relation between beta and
equals
alpha.
to alpha upon 1 minus alpha.
Yes, very good. Beta is equal to what? Alpha divided by 1 minus alpha.
1 minus
So,
1.
yes, so calculate beta value. So આવે છે?
24.
Yes, very good. 24.
24.
So now as you know the equation of current amplification factor beta. શું છે beta નું equation?
IB upon IC.
No.
IC upon IB.
Yes. Always current amplification factor is what? Output current divided by input current. So in the common ammeter, what is the output current? IC, collector current. Input current is what? IB. So beta is the ratio of IC divided by IB. So now IB is equal to what? IC divided by beta. Clear? So IC is what? IC ખબર છે તમને? No, IC is not given.
0.625 milliampere.
Yes, you first calculate IC. Yes, IC is what? IC is what? The voltage.
RC into I. V equals to IC into RC.
Yes.
V is 0.5 and
V
RC
is
is
0.5. RC is 800. So 0.5 divided by 800. So you get 0.625 milliampere. Yes, you find the answer here. IC is 0.5, which is given here in the example. 0.5 voltage across the resistance 800 ohm. So 0.5 volt divided by RC 800. So you get the IC 0.625 milliampere. And beta you already calculate 25. So IB is equal to IC by beta. So it is 0.026 milliampere. All of you get this answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Is there any doubt? Anyone? कोई ना कोई doubt है? It's a very simple example of this chapter. Our example આવશે બરાબર, very simple example. Now let's calculate the next example. Determine VCB, collector to base voltage in the transistor circuit as shown in this figure. The transistor is of silicon and has the beta value 150. Beta value 150. Calculate collector to base voltage. This is the collector terminal and this is the base terminal. Yes? Anyone? A very simple example, this one is also. See, what you need to find out VCB. It means voltage between this collector terminal and this ammeter terminal. This is the example of common emitter. Clear? That you can also understand by showing this figure. This arrow indicates the terminal of ammeter. Clear? And this is a NPN type of transistor. So ammeter is common. You need to find out the voltage between collector to ammeter. Supply voltage VCC is given 10 volt. So if you apply the KVL to this output circuit, so what is the KVL equation? So how's the equation KVL, Anu?
VBB minus IBRB minus VB equals 0.
No, output side KVL equation, output side, because we need to find out VCE. Clear? So this output circuit KVL equation is what? Total supply voltage VCC, which is 10 volt given, is equal to what? Voltage drop across this RC plus voltage across this collector and ammeter terminal. Yes or no? It means VCB.
Sir.
Yes?
Sir, but for finding base current, we need to apply KVL to base emitter loop also.
Yes. But first you need to find out this VCE. Because VCE is what? It is collector to base voltage plus
Collector
base
to
to emitter voltage.
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
So first you need to find out collector to emitter voltage. If you find out this collector to emitter voltage from this to this, so you can add this base to emitter voltage plus collector to base voltage. Clear? તમારે find શું કરવાનું છે? Collector to base voltage. This is a collector and this is a base terminal. આ બે વચ્ચેનો voltage find કરવાનો છે. But for first you can find out this whole voltage across this transistor VCE. So therefore apply the KVL here. But the problem is what? IC is unknown. Collector current you not get. But beta value is given. So beta પરથી શું find કરી શકો? Collector current મળી જાય. But again, for that you require IB, base current. What is the base current? So first apply the KVL to the input circuit here. Clear? Here we do the reverse engineering. First identify which parameter you find out. And then after analyze that how you can find out that parameter. So first we see that if you know the value of collector to ammeter voltage, that is a summation of base to ammeter plus collector to base voltage. Clear? But for that you need the collector current that you can find out from the beta and IB, base current. Base current is unknown, so first we apply the KVL to this input circuit here. So input side voltage is given 5 volt, resistance is given 10 kilo ohm, and here it is made up of silicon material. So you know the value of base to ammeter voltage. How much?
0.7.
0.7. So now apply the KVL to the input circuit and give me the answer of base current. So આવે છે? IB is equal to
430 microampere.
Yes, very good. 430 microampere. Apply the KVL, simple. You can see here equation of KVL for the input circuit. VBB is equal to IB into RB plus voltage across B and E terminal, which is 0.7. So IB is equal to, from this equation, VBB minus VB divided by RB. So you get 430 microampere. All of you get this?
Yes, sir.
Now calculate IC. Now beta is given, IB you find out. Now calculate the beta.
64.5
64.5
milliampere.
Yes, very good. 64.5 milliampere. 64.5 milliampere. Now what is the next step? હવે શું કરશો?
KVL in output circuit.
Yes, very good. And find out which parameter? Collector to ammeter voltage. Collector to ammeter voltage. Yes, VCE. So as you can see in the circuit, apply the KVL. So VCC input voltage is equal to what? Voltage drop across this RC 100 ohm resistance plus voltage across collector to ammeter. That you need to find out. So collector to ammeter voltage is equal to what? VCC minus voltage drop across this RC. which is RC into IC. So give me the value of collector to emitter collector to emitter voltage. કેટલું આવે છે?
3.5 volt.
3.55.
3.55 volt. Yes, very good. All of you get this answer? બધાને આવે છે?
Yes, sir.
ખ્યાલ આવી ગયો કઈ
Yes,
રીતે
sir.
ઇક્વેશન લખ્યું? We apply the KVL to the output side. Clear? Now calculate the collector to base voltage. Collector to base voltage. You know the value of base to emitter voltage. You know the value of collector to emitter voltage. This 3.55. So what is the value of?
2.85 volt.
Yes, very good. 2.85 volt. You know the VCE is equal to what? Collector to base voltage plus base to emitter voltage. Let's understand by this, from this figure, collector to emitter voltage, this across these two terminal voltage is equal to what? Collector to base voltage plus base to emitter voltage. Base to emitter voltage, you know, for silicon it is 0.7. You need to find out this collector to base voltage. So that is equal to what? Collector to emitter voltage minus base to emitter voltage. Clear? So we find out this 3.55 collector to emitter voltage minus base to emitter voltage 0.7. So the answer is 2.85 volt. Understand all of you? Is there any doubt this example?
No, sir.
Okay. So now this common emitter configuration is over here. Now let's move for the characteristic of this common emitter connection. As we have seen the characteristic in the common base connection, input and output characteristic. Same way here in the common emitter connection, there is the input and output characteristic. So as you know that input current and voltage in the common emitter is what? Base current and base to emitter voltage. That is the input voltage and current. Clear? So this characteristic is base to emitter voltage was a base current. Clear? So you can see that this characteristic is draw for the constant value of collector to emitter voltage. So first line you can see this one dark line, this is the characteristic for collector to emitter voltage 1 volt, and this one characteristic is for collector to emitter voltage of 10 volt. Clear? So for different constant collector to emitter voltage you get the different characteristic, and you can see the graph. As you increase the base to emitter voltage, base current will increases rapidly. Clear? So what are the points conclude from these characteristics? That this curve is act like a diode forward bias characteristic. If you see the diode PN junction diode characteristic in the first quadrant, same characteristic you can look like this here. Clear? In that we increase the anode cathode voltage and your anode current will increase. Here same way, as you increase the base to emitter voltage, your base current will increase. So the characteristic is like a resemble of the forward bias diode characteristic. So this is expected because base emitter section of the transistor is act as a PN junction diode, and which is always a forward bias. Yeah. Now as compared to the common base arrangement, as we see in the last theory, the IB base current that will increase is less rapidly with the base to emitter voltage. Therefore the input value of the resistance in case of common emitter circuit that is higher than the common base configuration. Clear? So value of input resistance is what? Input voltage base to emitter voltage divided by base current. Clear? Delta VBE divided by delta IB. So you can see that this is the value of input resistance, which you can find out from the input characteristics. Now same way output characteristic you can draw. You can see that is a common emitter configuration. Input current IB you can measure by ammeter. Input voltage VBE by measuring the voltmeter connecting across this base and emitter terminal. Same way output current, collector current you can measure by putting a ammeter in series at the output side and measure the output voltage collector to emitter voltage across this collector to emitter terminal by connecting the voltmeter. So this collector current and this collector to emitter voltage we require to draw the output characteristics here. So let's check this characteristic here. You can see that it is same like a output characteristic in the common base configuration, but just changes here. Draw the characteristic between collector to emitter voltage was a collector current for constant value of base current. In case of common base configuration, we draw the characteristic for the constant value of emitter. Clear? But here we draw it for the constant value of base current. Clear? So you can see that here, same like this. Initially for a small change in the collector to emitter voltage, the value of collector current is very rapidly changed. But as after the 1 volt, if you increase the collector to emitter voltage, your collector current becomes constant. Clear? It becomes constant. So that in this characteristic, it operates in a linear region only between 0 to 1 volt of collector to emitter voltage. After that, your collector current is remain constant. For any value of base current, you can see that after that, its value is remain constant for different value of base current. Clear? Now, if you find out the resistance, output resistance of this circuit, so that is nothing but ratio of collector to emitter voltage divided by collector current. Clear? Now, in this case, is you noted that the slope in the horizontal line, as you increase the output resistance of this collector to emitter circuit is less because the value of collector current is changes very high rapidly as you change the small value of collector to emitter voltage at a constant value of beta. So it means the numerator is less as compared to the denominator, so that the value of R0 output resistance for this common emitter circuit is very less, and that is in the order of 50 kilo ohm. Yeah, it is in terms of 50 kilo ohm. Now let's see the next common collector connection, last topic of this chapter as well as last topic for your syllabus that I give you for the self study, common collector connection. Clear? Same theory, but just parameter will change, voltage and current in the input and output side. So you can refer this topic from the book of V.K. Mehta from page number 162. I will provide the soft copy of this book, V.K. Mehta. So from this book, from page number 162, you can refer this topic, common collector connection. Okay? So here I complete this chapter as well as the whole syllabus of your this subject, EE 143, basic electrical and electronics circuits. Clear, all of you? Here I complete this chapter. If you have any doubt, you can ask the question. And this chapter is not your syllabus of your internal exam, but that is in your final exam. So please read this chapter after this internal exam is completed. And if you have any doubt in any chapter 1 to 10, we will conduct the doubt solving session special for solving your doubts. If you have any doubt in any chapter, yeah. But before that, you mail me your questions. So I combine all the questions and ready for the answer of all the questions, and then after we will meet for the doubt solving session. Clear? So up to this, complete this chapter now, and best of luck all of you for your internal examination.
Sir, will you provide PPT?
Yes, I will provide the whole PPT to this chapter as well as I also provided I think all the chapter PPT to you. બધા chapter ની PPT I think તમારી પાસે હશે.
Yes, sir.
Clear? So this chapter PPT I will provide today, and all of you please submit me this practical number 9 as soon as possible. If it is possible, submit me before the internal, but I will give you a time. I know that we require the time for reading of this internal examination. So I will provide the sufficient time for this 9th practical. And the last practical, I will provide you after the internal examination. Okay, I will provide the recorded video directly. So watch this video and directly write down the reading on this Word file, which you already also provided to you after the internal examination. So here we complete the whole theory parts. Just we require to complete only last practical number 10, which is related to this chapter transistor. So we complete the practical as well as theory portion here. Clear? So best of luck again to all of you for your internal examination. We will meet after the internal examination. So now you have 2 days. So in these 2 days, if you have any doubt related to the chapter number 4, 5, 6 and 7, you can mail me or message your question. So I will call you and give the answer of this. Clear? All of you? Is there any doubt up to this? Anyone? कोई ना कोई डाउट છે પૂછવું છે કઈ? Yes, anyone want to ask any question? And this topic is for the self study. Okay, તમારે જાતે વાંચવાનો છે ખાલી. Clear? This is very simple as we have studied the common base and common emitters topic, same as this common collector connection now. Yeah. So here I stop this lecture and best of luck again, and we will meet